Okay, so welcome back to this will be our last video, and now we will focus on the environmental impact of sustainability accounting. So this second impact is also measurable, it's quantitative, it's very clear, and it's based on scientific measures like life cycle assessment or ecovariance calculations. And it's very important for accounting because it combines the two things that matter in sustainability, the financial aspects, because we need to pay some money, we need to make sure we have the ideal decision, like we learned yesterday, but now we also include the impact side. So we will have the two things that matter, the environmental impact and the money. So let's do an exercise on this, and I think everything will be clear. So this exercise is also about deciding on something. This is about energy use in a company. And there are two possible options. One option is if the company uses non-sustainable energy, which has some environmental impact, but is usually cheaper. So you can see in here, this is assumption. The price is $1 for 1 kilogram of CO2. And then the sustainable energy option is more expensive, but the impact is lower. In this case, no impact. So then something also interesting, and this is also very real. Like after certain threshold, if you impact more than something, then you need to pay taxes for that impact. So this is the rule. So after 200 kilograms of CO2, there is a tax of $1.5 for every kilogram of CO2. And finally, the last assumption is that the company aims to use 400 kilowatts. So what is the ideal choice? For the calculation, we will try to do three calculations. One when we go fully sustainable, one when we go zero sustainable, non-sustainable at all, and then a combination. So let's start with the totally sustainable option, where we will focus only on sustainable energy. So the company will use 400 kilowatts. So we'll calculate the price of doing that, the cost. So it's 400 kilowatts times the price. 400 times 2 is $800. That's the cost of being totally sustainable. And the impact is zero, right? Because it's 400 kilowatts, but multiplied by zero because it's no impact energy. So no impact at all. So if you want to be totally sustainable, it will cost you $800. Then let's do the opposite, totally the other extreme, not sustainable at all. So that means that we will have to multiply for the cost 400 kilowatts times $1. So that's here, and it's $400. Then we should not forget about the tax, because here it says that after, well, maybe we need to calculate the impact first, because the impact is also very simple. 400 kilowatts of energy times 1 kilogram, that means 400 kilograms of CO2. The impact is 400. But when that happens, when we reach the threshold of 200, we need to pay 1.5 for every kilogram extra. So we, after the 200, that is the limit, we go over for 200. So we have 200 times 1.5, $300. So if you add 400 of the cost plus the tax, you end up with $700. So that means that the total cost is 700, but your impact is very high, it's 400 kilograms. So it's still a little bit cheaper because it's 100 less, but the impact is much more. It's 400 versus zero. So just with that, you have an idea of, if I pay 100 more, I will have much less impact. Maybe it's worth it. But also maybe we can do a combination. What if we decide to use the non-sustainable energy only until 200? So 200 is before the tax. So we do the calculation. 200 of the cheap one, 200 times 1 is $200. We don't have tax, right? Because we decide that the other 200 will come from the sustainable energy, and that means is here $2 times 200, 400. So the total cost is 600, is cheaper than this option, is cheaper than this other option, and the impact is 200. The impact is half of this, but is more than the original one. So now you have a clearer idea. If you want to be totally sustainable, it costs 100 more than the non-sustainable option. And if you want to be like something in between, it will cost $200 less than this, and actually $100 less than this. Maybe this combination, maybe the ideal one, unless you want to be zero, and this is the best for you, but you need to understand that you are paying a little bit more. So that's what you have to do in terms of accounting. And that's all. I think we will keep it simple because we have many topics to learn in all the modules. We learn many things in reporting. We will learn more things in accounting. So we will learn three tools: the budget, where we with some assumptions we calculate what is a real financial impact; the capex calculation, where we try to focus more on the long term, what will happen in the long term, how many years do we need to get the benefit of this; and finally we overlap with the environmental impact, and we usually have a combination of different decisions to do. So finally, I think you can practice. There is a exercise in Canvas where in the it's an Excel, and in the first page you have the data and the problem, and then in the second page you can just click at the bottom. You can just click on the next page, and then you have the answer. So you can also check if you are correct, and in there you can see the calculations because it's an Excel. So it's very simple. And that's it. That's the whole lecture. I think it's very short lecture because in the video format, it's very simple to do it. You can just, if you don't understand something, you pause. In face to face, it will take more time, so it's very efficient. So then use that, like the time that we were supposed to be here face to face, maybe use it on your own and do the exercises. I think that can be very helpful. So that's it for today. And just finish the practice.